Life's been pretty tough for those of us already bitten by the travel bug, especially considering the horrible after effects of the global health situation. But since everything seems to be returning back to normal with the onset of vaccinations at an international level, it might be time to think about where to head off to next. And since there's nothing better than relaxing in the sun and sand of an island paradise, the tiny nation of Barbados in the Lesser Antilles is by far one of the greatest options available. Whether you've already planned your trip to the Jewel of the Caribbean or need more convincing before booking that ticket, you've come to the right place, as we're about to take a look at some of the best places to visit in Barbados. So grab a towel and join us in the sun as things are about to get interesting. Before we get into the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as turning on post notifications so that way you don't miss any new content from us. The beaches of Carlisle Bay. Since Barbados has been renowned for its title as the island paradise of the world, we couldn't possibly talk about this little country without at least mentioning its incredible selection of clean and picturesque beaches. In fact, one of the most beautiful destinations Barbados has to offer is Carlisle Bay on the edge of Bridgertown. The bay extends for miles and comprises of a number of beaches with pale blonde sand and crystal clear turquoise water, making it by far one of the most photographed destinations on the planet. Although Pebble Beach is by far the most popular segment, Brownies and Bayshore Beach are just as great, and probably less busy depending upon the season. Your choices here are practically endless and range from relaxing under the sun while reading a book to renting a stand-up paddleboard and exploring the ocean from a different perspective. Regardless of where you decide to spend the day, make sure to visit Pebble Beach at dawn, as you might just catch a glimpse of some racehorse taking their morning bath in the crashing waves. It's an incredible sight that not many people get to see, so take your chances and you might just become one of the lucky few. And just to hopefully make things easier, if this does indeed sound like a convincing reason to visit Barbados, feel free to stay at either the Hilton Barbados Resort or Radisson Aquatica Resort, as both do have the bay within a 2-minute walk from your bedroom. Now that's the dream. Downtown Bridgertown. For those of you that don't know, Bridgertown is the capital of Barbados and is home to a number of attractions that you'll want to check out when you have the time. That being said, it's also a beautiful place to spend the day wandering around and discovering for yourself, complete with everything from shopping centers to incredible restaurants at which you'll find some of the best food in the world. Since Bridgertown is easily navigated and all sites are within walking distance of one another, you'll easily feel no need to rent a car or even take a cab. Just across the street from the Parliament buildings, you'll end up finding the Chamberlain Bridge, which towers over the Constitution River and gives visitors an otherworldly view of the yachts and boathouses which have been docked along the waterway. Set against a cluster of colorful buildings that line the docks, there's no better place to get Instagrammable pics. From there, you can head inland to find the Nish Israel Synagogue and Immaculate St. Michael's Cathedral, both of which have been finished with some of the greatest architecture that you'll ever feast your eyes on. Queen's Park also calls itself home to a 1,000-year-old baobab tree, giving the opportunity to look up something natural that is more than a century old. But that's not all, as Bridgertown also contains incredible sites like the Garrison Historic Area, George Washington House, Garrison Tunnels, Guard House, and the Barbados Museum, all of which explain the rich culture of the surrounding area. Bathsheba Bay. Being one of the only countries with more than one bay as its main attraction, Barbados presents a different experience entirely with its Bathsheba Bay. Set along the rugged Atlantic coast, the bay shows visitors the erosive power of the ocean by being made up of a number of rock formations that, although not great for swimming, does make an incredible surfing hangout. According to the tourism industry of the country, these rock formations are actually the result of ancient coral reefs that were being undercut by the relentless waves of the bay over time, making them a true part of history in the making. So, if you do love the ocean and rank excitement over and above relaxation, Bathsheba Bay is most definitely the place for you. The white lather, which is created by the waves, cause it to be known as the soup bowl and makes for an incredible selfie if we do say so ourselves. And be sure to take your wallets with you when heading through, as you'll find a number of restaurants and vendors on the beachfront, making sure that the surfers have everything they need to be able to spend the day there. The bay also houses one of the best places to dine in Barbados, which just so happens to be the Atlantis Hotel. Also, feel free to combine the visit with with a short stop at the nation's Andromeda Tropical Botanical Gardens and Flower Forest, each of which are sure to make you marvel at the wonders of the natural world. The Animal Flower Cave. But it's at the northern tip of Barbados where you'll really find one of the most incredible natural wonders in the world. Called the Animal Flower Cave because of its dramatic views of humpback whales from February to April, this cave is something else entirely that you just can't miss out on. Each cave tour is around 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how charismatic and excited your guide is, and will have you staring at the surrounding stalagmites and stalactites in absolute awe. You can also travel to the cliff side of the cave to be able to see views that you've only seen on expensive postcards. And for the claustrophobic among you, there is no need to worry, as the cave has many openings which have the effect of removing any and all feelings of being trapped at the mercy of unforgiving ocean. The Animal Flower Cave also comes packed with its own open deck viewing restaurant, which is especially popular during whale season. And if you're looking for a little bit more exciting stuff than taking in some incredible sights, consult your map of Barbados, then head over to Harrison's Cave, which is where you'll be able to grab a helmet and headlamp so you can explore the deep, dark cave system that awaits you below. But do us a favor and take a guide. We don't want your holiday to become a horror fest after all. St. Nicholas Abbey. To those who might be more interested in historical significance, however, St. Nicholas's Abbey is bound to be your liking. The Jacobean Great House of St. Nicholas was actually built in 1658, and as such, has many stories surrounding it which are as intriguing as the plantation itself. Surprisingly enough, despite its name, the Abbey has never had any religious affiliation, so you don't need to worry about being preached to when exploring its halls. Although the property has changed hands a number of times over the centuries, it's currently being held by Larry and Anna Warren, who, after restoring the estate, have continued to use it as a sugar plantation. Ask nicely, and you might even be able to have a taste of some of the goods being processed. But generally speaking, visitors of St. Nicholas's Abbey tour the property to see antiques, explore the grounds, and learn about the process of making sugar. While visiting the Abbey, you should also make a plan to stop at the Cherry Tree Hill, which is a popular lookout area with views of the Atlantic side of the island. If taking an incredible picture is on your list of must-do vacation tasks, then you don't want to miss out on this one: the Barbados Wildlife Reserve. Being an island nation, Barbados also comes packed with some of the cutest wildlife you've ever seen, and there's no place better to get a look at them all than at the Barbados Wildlife Reserve. Within the reserve, you're going to find the island's most infamous green monkeys and see how they interact with the wildlife around them. There is nothing funnier than watching one of these cheeky monkeys pester a slow-moving tortoise during playtime, so be sure to make a turn when you can. You'll also be able to take a walk through the meandering pathways of the mahogany forest, taking in the sights of both the national park and its wildlife. Agatus, monkeys, deer, turquoise, and even iguanas can all be seen almost anywhere you go, making for an incredible opportunity to catch each and every one on camera. You might also come across some parrots, caiman, moras, and even snakes. And if you do want to be able to see them all, then just make sure to time your visit so that way you're there by 2 p.m., as this is usually when feeding time takes place. And believe us, you don't want to miss feeding time. Also, keep in mind that admission to the Barbados Wildlife Reserve also includes access to the Grenade Hall Forest and Signal Station, which serves as a pretty exciting attraction on its own, so don't miss out on that. Visiting Oistins on Friday. If you're wondering what there is to do in Barbados at night, then look no further than visiting Oistin's Friday Fish Fry, which takes place every Friday night. Here, you'll be able to try local caught fresh fish from the ocean right after being grilled for your pleasure. With a number of vendors to choose from who each sell a variety of different main and side dishes, every Friday night feels like a festival of fish, with both locals and tourists attending to enjoy both the food and atmosphere. Sitting at one of the makeshift tables and feasting on some fresh fish really makes you feel like belonging in the island nation. And it's most definitely something that every tourist needs to experience before taking the trip back home. But be sure to go there on an empty stomach, as you're going to want to try as much as you can. St. Lawrence Gap. Last but not least, we've got St. Lawrence Gap, which is about a 20-minute drive from Bridgertown and consists of a colorful 1.3-kilometer section of street made up of both restaurants and shops. And while the colorful and vibrant shops may look incredible in the daytime, it must be said that the street becomes more and more lively as the day goes on, only closing in the late hours hours of the evening. Since there's a bit of everything for somebody out there, from fancy restaurants that allow you to dine overlooking the ocean to far more casual street carts which allow you the freedom to walk and eat, you'll be missing out if you don't visit St. Lawrence Gap to be able to see what it has to offer. So, what do you think about visiting Barbados? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below, and we'll see you next time.